Alright YouTube, what's going on? Hightower 5 days near today, bring you a Fate of the Gods quest guide. And start this quest by speaking to Azandra, south of Eagle's Peak Lodestone. The requirements of this quest are: must have completed Missing, Presumed Death, have level 79 Magic, 76 Slayer, 75 Divination, 73 Agility, and level 67 Summoning. To get the full rewards, you might have wanted to have completed World's Weight, Ritual of Majorat, the Temple of Senstein, and the Firemaker's Curse. However, I'm going into this only completing one of them, so it really doesn't matter. It's just really for the rewards, and if you're after them, go ahead and complete them quests first. Quest start location is where my marker is here. Best way of getting there is probably using the Eagle Peaks Lodestone and running south. Alternatively, you can use the Grand Tree at the Gnome Stronghold, or you can teleport to Ardung and run over to your west. Items you need for this quest: there's no set items you need for this quest at all, but you do want to bring your best combat armor possible. So I'm not very good at combat, so I'm going with a range setup, and this is the best range setup I can have. I know it's mediocre, but it's the best I can do. You want to decide now if you're going to be using EOC or Legacy. If you are using EOC, make sure you sort out all your special abilities now, just because we'll be fighting a lot of monsters later on. You don't want to deal with that later. Once you've got your armor set up, it doesn't really matter what method you go with, they're all about the same. There's no advantage using one over the other. You want to go ahead and get yourself a Beast of Burden, Pack Yak at level 96 or War Tortoise at level 67, fill them up with food to the brim of Rocktails. We're going to need a lot of food, and I mean a lot of food for this. So go ahead and do that. Then fill up your inventory with Rocktails, probably bring an emergency teleport, then bring a super or an extreme set. So I've got, for example, an extreme defense and extreme range potion. You also, if you can, bring an overload as well, because that would be much better. Finally, you want to bring yourself a super restore, and this is an absolute guarantee must, because your stats will get drained from one of the monsters you're attacking. Also bring a prayer system as well, so I've got 2 prayer pots and a prayer renewal potion. I also brought myself a Sardamon and Brew just in case, and that's me pretty much set up. There will also be a chance halfway through this quest to bank, so don't worry too much if your stats are quite low. We will get a chance to bank because there will be a very large tanking stage at the end. So let's get this quest started. Let's go ahead and talk to Azandra. So in this quest, it really doesn't matter too much what you say. There are 1 or 2 times you have to say specific things, but overall it doesn't really matter too much. So for this one, you just want to go ahead and select option number 2, I'll help if I can. If you actually want to find out more about it, and just go ahead and select the other options, but I'm just going to be doing the quest as fast as possible. Go ahead and accept the quest, and then just select anything. I'm just going to select option number 3, good to see you again. Then Sleesk will appear and he will join the conversation. So go ahead and talk through to Sleesk. Doesn't matter what you say here, though I'd recommend selecting option number 4. Okay, let's hear your proposal. And then select option number 2, I'll keep that in mind. So as you can see here, this is the portal entrance here. What you want to do, there are 2 of these controls here. You want to go ahead and rotate the right control until you get into the shape of sort of a fork. So every time you rotate it, the portal is sort of going to change. So if we go ahead and rotate right here, it's going to spin and it's going to change into a half fork. We don't quite want that, we want a full fork. So go ahead and just rotate it again until you get a full fork, and you'll know what I mean by that. There we go, so that's the fork there, that's the one we want. Once you've got the fork, you want to go ahead and rotate this left control. Now, the left one you're looking for is a line right down the middle, and then you're looking for a small line coming out the middle, going down and pointing about the 8 o'clock position on a clock. You'll know what I mean when you see it. So there we go, that's the option you're looking for there, the line with a small line coming off the middle around at 8 o'clock position. Finally, go ahead and rotate the right control again, and this time we're looking for a line with a cross through it in the middle though, and it's much smaller than the huge line going down the centre. So there we go, that's it there, and then Sleesk will come into the conversation saying that we're a step closer. So if something pops up there, just go ahead and close out of it and go ahead and talk to Sleesk again, and he'll teleport you back, I guess, into the real world. Select option number 1, yes, tell him everything. Though again, from this stage on, it's really up to you what you say. You might just want to go along with what I say, but it's up to you. This will have a knock-on effect in a sense later on, in future quests, because this will carry on for what you said. However, all of the answers in this quest lead to the quest being complete. If you select one answer now and a different answer from me later, it's not going to have an effect. You will still be able to complete the quest. So once you're ready, you feel you're all accommodated up, you've got your armor, you're all set up, you're happy, you're comfortable, you want to go ahead and actually enter through the portal. Now it's going to say here there's volcanic ash and there's lots of bad things, and yes, we know that, so go ahead and select yes and enter, and you go. So for this part here, you kind of want to move quite fast. I'm going to talk you through it quite slow. So you're in sort of the world's wake now. You're in this area which is sort of like a really long maze, and it's not a maze that you really would have done before. It's nothing like Morning's End Part 2, for example. It's basically lots of obstacles in a sense, and just a path which you got to follow around. However, there is a lot of things that will take damage off you, and that's why we've got so much food on us. There's going to be volcanic ash that's just going to spurt up out the floor and spurt out the walls. To pass that, sometimes you just have to pass it and just land up getting hit. Other times you need to sort of time it, and I'll tell you when to time it. There's also going to be lightning flashes, and these are one of the biggest things. These can take up to 1,500 life points away from you, as you can see in the background there. So to avoid these, and you'll know these are coming, there'll basically be an area on the ground that will light up, and about 2 or 3 seconds later a lightning bolt will actually come down and it'll strike on that spot, which of course you want to avoid and walk away from. So now that we're actually into this layer, what you want to do is head in an easterly direction, and you want to jump from ledge, and you want to jump onto this other ledge and then continue and jump over again. So once you're over here, what you want to do is head south a little bit. As you can see, I'm already taking a lot of damage. I'm just going to eat a food, and you just want to climb over the stairs. Once you're up here, you just want to continue to follow the path. So what you want to do is go ahead and just climb down the stairs as you continue east. And if you go ahead and just move a little wee bit to your east, you'll end up being under this arch here, and you'll see these sort of blue crystals. If you stand behind or beside these anyway, these will actually heal you, which is really ideal, so you don't have to use as much food. So I'm going to be sort of stop starting while I'm doing this, because you want to make use of this, because you don't want to use up your food, because you really need to save your food the best you can. So from here, what you want to do is continue in a northeasterly direction until you get to this bridge here. Then you want to cross over the lava fall, and then from there climb up the stairs. So from here again, you want to head in a northeasterly direction. In general, if you do get lost, you just want to try and make your way north. That's about it. The majority of the time we'll be heading north or northeast. On the occasional you might have to backtrack like we did at the start. Anyway, continue northeast, and you want to go over the overhang like so. And then you want to go ahead and climb down this cliffside here. Once you've climbed down it, you're actually going to head south this time, and you're going to go under this wee overhang. And then you just want to continue in a northwesterly direction this time. And then you want to slide down the slope. So continuing on moving, go ahead and eat some food, and this is the thing here which you need to sort of time. You need to wait for these things to shoot things out, and then you just want to run past them. If not, you'll get hit, and it'll actually take a lot of damage, around 150 or 1,500, depends what mode you're playing on. So for this bit here, it's really up to you. You want to make your way south. You can either take the shortcut and just go straight off there around by the volcanic ash, or you can make the long way around. Yes, it is longer, but there's a chance that you'll actually not take as much damage. Unfortunately, I'm going the long way and I seem to be taking a lot of damage. Really up to you though, you just want to follow the path around really. So once you make it round, you want to climb up these stairs here. And then once you get up here, you want to just walk over this rock formation here. Again, another overhang, just walk across it. And then you want to continue in the easterly / northeasterly direction. As you can see, this is a sort of maze and we're trying to get around it. Again, this is a timing thing here. So basically, don't do what I did and just run into the lava. But if you're good with your timing, then you might be able to get past this. Again, this is one which I just got hit really bad at. If we hurry up and move, you really do not want to stand still at all like I'm doing. I really fucked up there. That's what you want to do, continue past that. Again, I'm having to eat food. Anyway, so from here you want to climb down. And then once you've climbed down, you want to head south. And then you want to head in an easterly direction and cut across there. Once you've arrived in this eastern corner here, you want to go ahead and traverse the rock bridge over the lava fall again, this time heading in a southern direction. And now you're actually going to see a cave opening, so go ahead and enter into it. Now there are 3 different rooms coming up here, and there's basically 3 sort of different activities we need to do. The first one's a puzzle, so you're not going to take any damage here. This puzzle might take you quite a while because it's actually kind of confusing, but I'm going to try and talk you through it the best I can. So head north, and you're going to see this door here. Now you want to investigate it when you get to it. Now as you can see, there is loads of dials or discs, I guess you could say, on this door. And you can see these yellow lines here in between some of the discs. Now I've only got one right now, and that means one is lined up and it's correct. Now the reason it's correct is because, as you can see, the corner, if we look at this bottom disc here, the corner one, that looks like a cloud sort of. It's also lined up with a cloud on the disc at the other end of the line. So if you get what I mean, so sort of the corner one of the bottom disc is a cloud, and the corner of that disc there just above it is a cloud, and because they're beside each other, it's making a yellow line, and that part of the door is unlocked. So what you want to do for that is, in a sense, go ahead and unlock the door with that method. Now, if I look at this other disc here, I see, okay, there's a circle, so I need to get a circle where that pink drop is there. However, there's no circle on that disc, so that means that's not going to work, unfortunately. And I know what is going to work. You want to start from the middle, actually. As you can see, you can actually rotate this middle disc as well. But I'm just going to go ahead and rotate that. That creates that yellow line there, because that's the wee pink drop to the pink drop. Going to rotate this once, because that's star to star. And then I'm going to go ahead and rotate this, because that makes a full circle there, and that is the first stage of 3 stages to this door. So this is sort of a bit of trial and error here. I'm not going to speed this part up. Yours might be the same as mine, yours might not. It's different for every player, but again, you want to work off the middle. As you can see here, I just know this isn't going to work because the circle is only in that quadrant there, or on that disc there. So I need to rotate this around a bit and make sure it works. So there we go, that works now. That's going to work now. So I can see I've got my starting 3, and then just need to realign the other ones now. And there we go, that's that complete. Wasn't too difficult. Now this final one is very difficult because it includes all 9. There's many combinations actually. My right way, that's not the only right way, that is for sure. This one might take a little while to do. Probably take me a few minutes. Again, I won't speed this part up. Alright, so as you can see, I am incredibly close, but unfortunately I can't do it this way. It's just simple, I can't do it this way. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to rotate the dial in the middle and start again. It's basically trial and error this way. And there we go, so that's me finally managed to get the door unlocked. It took me 3 minutes there. Bit of trial and elimination. I could see in the middle that there was a circle, and the only disc had a circle was that circle there, and from there I sort of worked around. Once that is now done, you just want to walk forward and go through the door through the mist. I highly recommend you watch this part first, just because I'll be doing the bosses probably in a different order to you, and you want to know everything about the bosses before you go ahead and start attacking them. So we are now moving into the second stage of 3. This part is a combat part. There are 4 monsters we need to defeat. Each monster is different and will attack you in a different way, and also has a special effect which will damage you in a certain way as well. It doesn't matter what order you actually kill all 4 of them, it's really up to you. It's not really up to you in a sense, so I'll be running around this room, all 4 of them, they'll be dashing around, and all you want to do is click on one of them to start the fight, and that will stop them. Once you start the fight, you'll only be attacking that monster. No other monster is going to start to attack you, but the other 3 will still be running around the room. So what you want to do is make sure that you're sort of off to the side, not right in the middle, because they will be running past, and if they run past and hit you, they can actually hit you if you're sort of in their way, and they will cause quite a lot of damage to you. So the 4 monsters are Smoke. This one attacks with magic that lowers stats. And the best method for protection is Protect from Mage or Soul Split. This is why we've got the Super Restore, and you'll be needing it for this fight, just because it'll be draining your stats, so you want to reboost them. You've also got the Shadow. The Shadow attacks with range and sort of has a circle that'll fire a circle and it's rapid damage. When it fires that circle, you'll see a dark circle around you. You just want to go ahead and move out of it. You want to protect from range or use Soul Split for this. This is similar to the next effect. The next one is Blood. It attacks with melee and its special attack is all incoming damage heals itself. You'll know this because it'll sort of flare up and it'll get a wee bit more aggressive and you'll see this. Also, you'll see that its one is probably the more difficult one to kill because when you're attacking it, it'll end up starting to heal itself instead of you inflicting damage. For this one, you want to protect from melee or use Soul Split. And finally, Ice. This one uses magic again. It stuns you for 6 seconds and the best protection from this is using magic or using Soul Split. So as you see right now in the background, I am attacking the smoke monster and this is draining my stats, so it means that it's a lot more difficult to kill. As you can see in the very top right hand corner, those are all the stats that are being drained. So it's attack, strength, defense, range and magic. So this is all your combat stats that you really want, which is really unfortunate. So once or twice during this fight I took a sip of my restore, but it basically instantly redrained my stats again, so it wasn't really worth it. So you're no real point. Maybe you want to drink one sip throughout the fight, but at the end of the fight anyway, you want to make sure that you use that restore though once you've killed it. Again, to start this, all I did was just clicked on the monster, it stopped. As you can see, there's a monster running right down the middle of the screen right now. I'm off to the side, I'm tucked in, so I'm not going to get hit by that monster. I need to just watch out for other monsters as well when you're actually going ahead and killing your first monster. Now that that one is finished, you probably want to withdraw some more food and then start attacking your next monster. So the next one I stopped was the Blood one. Again, the Blood one, it attacks with melee and its special attack is it starts to heal itself halfway through. Now for me, I didn't actually really notice its special attack too much. I was finding it a wee bit difficult to kill, but it wasn't too bad because I was using range. It's a wee bit weaker, it seemed, from range. But then as you can see, it's starting to do this thing here where it's got these bubbles in a sense, or wee circles coming up, and it started to heal itself there. So what I did was I just backed off and then I went ahead and restarted attacking it. That lasted for about maybe 5 or so seconds, but when I noticed it, I backed off, and that's really what you want to do for this monster here. Not too difficult to kill this one. Again, make sure out the way of the other monsters and make sure you have enough food in your inventory. Once you're finished, again, all you want to do is interact with your beast of burden, probably get more food. From there, go ahead and refill your prayer if you need to, and then you want to probably take a sip of your overloads or extremes. So the next one I ended up attacking was the ice one. The ice one wasn't too much of a problem actually, however it felt more like a tanking one. The ice's special ability is that it freezes you for 6 seconds. Now it didn't freeze me too many times, but when it did it was really annoying because I sort of had to tank that. I couldn't attack back. So this one's more of a tanking boss in a sense. All you want to do is make sure you've got lots of food, make sure you're using your extremes and all that sort of stuff efficiently. Again, prayer efficiently, and you just want to get as much attack in as possible when you're unfrozen, so that's why you want to use your extremes, your overloads, and if there's any bonus prayers you could use as well, go ahead and use them. Overall, it wasn't too difficult, just watch out for food and watch out again for the other monsters running by. This is probably the most important for this monster, watching where the monsters are running by, because if you get frozen for them 6 seconds and a monster comes along, you can take a lot of damage. Again, all you want to do is repeat, so go ahead and trap your beast of burden, get more food, get some more prayer in you, go ahead and restock up on extremes or your overload, and from there get ready for your final fight. So the final one for me was the Shadow, and I was running a bit low on food for this, so I was a wee bit cautious. So the Shadow's special attack is that it sort of ranges a circle that deals rapid damage. So every so often you sort of see a wee circle that comes around my feet, and then it takes off, it looks like 50 damage every time. And for the first wee while I didn't sort of recognise it, I thought it was just attacking me multiple times, but that's what it is. Sort of as, again, I said, the next effect, if you've done the next, then basically lands up having an area which you can't stand in. Again, you get a lot of monsters like that at Dungeoneering as well, at Demonheim. So all you want to do is basically just move out the circle when it lands up coming close to you and just move away. This is why I picked range partially for this, but again, if it's combat, all you need to do is run away and then come back and go ahead and start attacking again. Simple as that, that is all the boss is done. From there, what you want to probably do is go ahead and bank. Don't worry when you go ahead and bank, because you'll land up just getting put back through to this room here again, and you will have to do the bosses again. However, and I strongly say however here, do not log out because you will have to redo the bosses. So you can just go ahead and bank. I hit my lodestone. You can either hit lodestone or you can hit your teletab. Go ahead and bank. Then you want to make your way back to the quest start point. And from there, there'll be a checkpoint which you can go back to that room and all the bosses will be dead. Again though, do not fucking log out. When you're back at the back, you might want to reset your beast of burden. Mine's just running low on time. Make sure again you bring a shit ton of food, because this next part is basically just tanking. So you are going to bring a lot of food, and make sure you bring a lot of defensive stuff as well. Once you arrive back at the quest start point, all you want to do is just enter the world gate, and then from there it'll bring you up a message. Just go ahead and select checkpoint, and that'll take you back to where we just teleported from. Once you've gone back through the world gate, you'll land up in the combat room we were just in. All you want to do is head north and then go through the door. The blue crystals will sort of open as you approach them, so there's no need to go ahead and try and click on them to open. For this next part, again, as I said, it's combat. There's a wee bit of chatting at the start, and then all of a sudden you're basically just going to be tanking. Make sure for this your prayer points are fully renewed. Your summoning, you've got pretty much full summoning. Your beast of burden's not going to run it halfway through. Make sure you're all set up and you're happy, because this is the last chance we can bank. If you are in this room and you realise you forgot something, then you can still go back and bank now. Once you're ready though, go ahead and enter through the door. Once you've gone through the doorway, you'll land up in this terrain here. If you walk forward a bit, you'll end up seeing this huge person. This is Matt, and he's having a sleep, basically. So what you want to do is try and go north and descend the ledge, and you'll end up, I guess, disturbing Matt. And this is where sort of Matt's nightmare is going to be. This is what we have to sort of defend. So Zaros is going to turn up, the wee ball. Go ahead and start talking to him, and then you'll basically go through chat. And this is where really you need to decide if you're going to side with Zaros or not. I really wasn't bothered, so I just sort of selected loads of random options. But from there you'll land up going into a cutscene, and you'll still be talking with Zaros here, and you'll start to get some options soon. So it's time to make up your mind. This will have a knock-on effect basically of your character in future quests that Jagex bring out, but at the end of the day you'll be able to complete the quest whatever option you choose. Now a lot of people don't really care too much about all the gods, they just want to do the quests, I know. But you can say here, I'd be honoured to help, I'll see what I can do, why should I help, I'm not going to help here. Now, there's no really benefits or cons. If you do side with Zaros at this part, then he will actually give you some extra prayer bonuses during this. I think he gives you like near enough infinite prayer. So you might, and that's why I'm going to actually go for Zaros in option number 1 there. And he will actually try and help you out. Again, it doesn't really matter here, the next set of questions. If you just want to go ahead and find out more information, then select options number 1 to 4. If you just want to get started, press option number 5. I've heard all I need, which I'm going to do like so. Select option number 2, just tell me the crucial info. So let Zaros in, yes or no, really up to you. As I've said, it will have a knock-on effect. No rush to make the decision, I just said yes, let him in, because why not? I'm not really too into the God storyline personally, I just want to get this quest over and done with, to be honest. So this is where the combat section is going to be. You can see Matt sleeping there, sort of turning his head. He's about to have a nightmare. So if you go a tiny bit forward, you'll end up getting this bar at the top of your screen. It's basically 100%, and it's going to start to slowly go down. Now, while it's doing this, it's going to start to spawn creatures which you don't have to kill, but it's better to kill because you're going to have to land up surviving this 100%. So it's going to slowly move down. As I said, the monsters are going to start to spawn in. Killing them is much better because you're going to inflict less damage. Now every, I think it's about 10 seconds or so, Ma's basically going to shout, or is basically going to make a sound, and that's going to damage every single person. As you can see there, I took 172. I think the monsters attacking took about 300. So it's going to end up having an effect. So you're going to be taking hit points off Ma itself, and you're also going to be taking off the monsters that spawn in front of him. So that's why you want to try and kill the monsters in front of him. This is really all about tanking here. As you can see, I've only really started, and I'm starting to use a little bit of food. As it goes on, it progressively gets harder. There's more monsters that spawn in. For the first like 20%, it's only one monster, then it gets more and more and more. It's just all about tanking. So if you are used to tanking, for example with bosses, then this shouldn't be too bad for you. If not, all you want to do is basically just click your food. Make sure that your prayer is full. Again, you've got overloads or extremes on, and all that sort of stuff. If you need to withdraw food from your beast of burden, then obviously you can't interact with it while in combat. So all you want to do is click the wee summoning icon, just above your action bar, and then if you right click on it and then take from beast of burden, that'll withdraw all the food from the beast of burden. Usually the way you would do it, you would land up just waiting to go out of combat, then just interacting with it and taking it out, but there's no pauses here, it just basically runs down. So as you can see now, I'm at like 30% and there's 3 of them. I'm starting to struggle at this point here, running out of food, so I went ahead and got my food out of my beast of burden. And that really is it, to be honest. There's nothing much else I can say, there's no special way of doing it. Just make sure that your health is probably over half the majority of the time, just in case Matt shouts really loud and takes a lot of health points off you. Bar that, good luck, there's not much more I can say. And this part is about 5 minutes long, so it is quite a while to actually land up tanking for. So we're now at 3%, just about there, 2%, just about there, 1%, and then he's going to wipe everything out at the end. So again, make sure you have near enough full HP here, and everything gets wiped out. And that'll be you done, so you can turn off your prayer. That's all the combat done for this quest actually. So go ahead and talk to Zaros again. And he's saying we're lucky to have survived. I think we pretty much fucking aced that, let's be honest. But continue through the chat with Zaros, and then again up to you, let Zaros, and I'm going to select option number 1, yes, it's really up to you. He's going to enter into your body or he's going to leave. He's going to say let's proceed, so all you want to do is just head north and finally descend down this ledge here. And you're finally going to descend down. So once you've descended down, you're actually going to be in a divination location for this. This is where the elder energy is. This is the newest energy into the divination scene. So as you can see, there's this thing on the ground which you probably want to go ahead and pick up, the measure, and basically this is sort of being used as a radar. So you want to go ahead and probably just pick this up, and you want to place it closer to the rift, and then just go ahead and place this down. Now as you can see, it's sort of firing at a sonic sort of boom, and it's going to have around this mat wisps. You want to go ahead and harvest these, and you're going to start to get ma energy. You're also going to get ma memories. It doesn't really matter about the memories. So you can convert these once you get a full inventory, so you can go ahead and convert these at the rift. But what you need to do is you need to get 250 ma energy. So you're going to get that with a combination of going ahead and harvesting the floating energies, and you're also going to be getting it from converting the memories. They'll give you like 4 or 5 energy as well, which is ideal. So I'm just going to speed this part up, but you need to get 250 ma energy. At some stage you might need to move your measure if you're not really getting many ma springs, but it's no problem, just pick it up and plop them back down somewhere else. Once you've got 250, you want to go ahead and select weave, and then you either want to pick a light or a dark simulacrum, I think it is, not at all sure I pronounced that. This will have a knock-on effect. If you make a light one, that means you're actually deciding that you don't want to side with Zaros. If you make a dark one, that means you want to side with Zaros. It's really up to you. I went with a light one. On your way out as well, what you want to do is pick up the measure, and then from there you just want to exit up the rock face which you climb down to get down into the Elder Hall. So once you get back up here, you want to go ahead and talk to Zaros. He's going to ask if you have made one of these divine things yet. Now if you've made a light one, your actual intentions here are that you actually want to sabotage Zaros. Again, I'm not really bothered, I don't really care. If you do, for some reason, do not want to sabotage Zaros, then you want to go ahead and make a dark one, you repeat the last process, or you can just go ahead and sabotage him. So if you do go ahead and actually select option number 1, oops, yes, I meant to help Zaros, then you're going to have to go ahead and create a dark one. But I'm just going to select option number 2 and go with it here, so no mistake, I intend to sabotage Zaros. It's going to be IC. Just continue through the chat. Once the cutscene is finished, you'll land up outside the world gate. So before we go back through the world gate, go ahead and talk to Zaros, and then just say how do you feel about it. I'm just going to say it was by accident. And that's really going to be that part done. So you want to go ahead and enter through the world gate again. And then once you've done that, go ahead and talk to Isandra. Select option number 1, I'm ready. And then you'll end up going into a cutscene with a whole squad. Once you finally get to this stage in the cutscene, you just want to select an option. I'm just going to select option number 1, it was a mistake, to sabotage your return. and then the cutscene will eventually finish and you'll land up outside the world gate, and that is the end of that really. So congratulations, quest complete. You've completed Fate of the Gods. You're awarded with 2 quest points, 125,000 magic experience, 100,000 divination experience, 100,000 slayer experience, 75,000 agility experience, 50,000 summoning experience, access to 3 75k combat lamps and a large prismatic lamp, the Shard of Zaros, the Measure, find all Memoriam crystals for 2 cosmetic overrides. Some of those rewards unfortunately require some of the additional quests for, which I've not done, so I can't really show you the rewards. But if you land up completing the quest in the future, you can actually come back and get the rewards, so just keep that in mind. The final real reward as well is after completing this quest in conjunction with the Ritual of Majorat, rune dragons are available through the world gate. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you have enjoyed this quest guide. Please leave a like, rating, and I'm out. Adios.